Here are some of the papers this morning. Vanguard newspaper, minimum wage. Let each state negotiate what it can pay. And that is ascribed to governors. That's a big lead right there this morning. Then to Daily Trust. Tinubu governors silent on minimum wage. So that's how they report theirs here today. Daily Times, Tinubu to governors. FG ready to provide needed support to ensure Nigerians are relieved of hardship. The writer tasks governors on food security, says states must work together to deliver on critical reforms. So, meaning the states have got to come to life right there. Nigerian Tribune is on a different tangent entirely. Private illegal aircraft used for drug trafficking, money laundering. Wow, that's ascribed to Kayamo. Says FG will probe licenses, clamp down on the indicted operators. The big lead on the front page of Tribune here today. Nigerian News Direct, pilgrimage sponsorship, mixed reactions trail NACON's operations as governors slam inefficiency. You might want to find out why. It's all here for you this morning if you do pick up the paper. Daily Independent, rising debts, interest payments may push Nigeria towards debt default. That's what they think. But they've got the minimum wage story, beneath that list story. Let's pay according to our ability, ascribed to Southern governors. Blueprints this morning reports troops eliminate 2,245 terrorists, arrest 3,682 in Q2 2024. That's how they lead here today. The Nigerian Observer, APC, PDP promised consolidation as Edo 2024 Guba campaigns intensified this morning. That's how they report. Business Day, Nollywood Afrobeats 729 billion naira haul glams up economy. Okay, should make for some interesting read. There are some of your papers this morning.
Well, my first pick this morning is from the front page of the Business Day newspaper, the last one that you actually you saw on your screen, when they're talking about Nollywood and Afrobeats hauling up, literally boosting the economy. And I'm just going to say the same thing that I've said over and over again here on this program, that this is an economy. This is a sector, this is an industry that has tremendous capacity that has not even been caught at all. Every morning, we bring to you skylines of different parts of Nigeria. This is part of the creative economy. Every morning. Now, I have also seen, I saw one, the movie is still upcoming from what I'm aware of, and that there are some sites there in that particular movie taken here in Nigeria. That if you see, when you see that movie, when you see those scenes, and anyone tells you it's done in China, you would not disagree, you will not argue. But guess what? It's somewhere up there in Kaduna State, right there in the city of Kaduna. And guess what? Many people may not even know that we have such in this country. And there are several other places like that all over the nation. That's just one. Now, we haven't really explored our music. There is a signature on the South African music style. There's a signature on the Indian music style. We are coming up with it now with Afrobeats. What are we going to do to maximize it for national image laundering? We also are aware, a good number of us are aware of how the American government used the movie industry, Hollywood, to boost the image of the nation. Is it something that that the Nigerian government and even state governments are looking at? I don't see anything wrong in states themselves commissioning movies. I mean, talk about in established people in the various industries to boost the image of the states. Talk about the potential of each state. Funding these shouldn't be much of a big deal for every nation, because whatever it is that is, what's the expectation? That there will be investments in that nation, in each of those states, an investment in the country. And just imagine the tremendous capacity that can bring, particularly to employment. Because when people have work to do, where people have a lot of stuff on their hands, they don't have to worry about anything. Believe me, there is very little that Nigeria has to worry about in terms of income and all of those things. Let me just close with this, my own take with this one. This is Mr. and Mrs. It's on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper. Mrs. is angry with Mr. You are broke and it's raining heavily. Does that mean you didn't save for the rainy day? And Mr. replies calmly, I did. The economy drowned it. That's my take this morning.
Indeed. I mean, what is happening with the economy right now, it will overwhelm any savings. And that's the reality on the ground. I'm sure Mrs. must be very aware of that. I'm looking at the front page of The Guardian this morning, and a very interesting story they have for you. Their big story, quite an interesting read. Igbo apprenticeship scheme, how lofty entrepreneurship system undermines school enrollment. We do know that for many years, many parts of the country, we're talking about how women or girls were the ones deprived of going to school because of a system that prioritizes the education of boys over that of girls. In the southeast of Nigeria, they had a different, set of problems, which was that they were finding it difficult to keep boys in school because they did not understand, why they had to be in school if they could make money easily through another system, which is this apprenticeship system. Well, it does appear that that has come under some analysis here on the big story that The Guardian is considering this morning. But that is not the focus of my take. The focus is this little story at the bottom here. Akpabio to approve request for jets as NAS okays validity of 2023 budget. Yesterday, the National Assembly did convene an emergency plenary session, both chambers of the National Assembly, and it was to consider extending the 2023 component of the 2023 budget till the end of the year. People whom we spoke to said they have never, heard of that before. What then happens to the capital budget for 2024? So there are big questions around there. But part of what came out from the Senate was this controversy on the debate for whether there will be a new presidential jet or not. And, the Senate president was said to have been misquoted, and also because it was unclear what the agenda of the National Assembly was to revoke this, there were speculations, and part of it, that speculation, The Guardian was said to have published a story saying that the Senate was reconvening because they wanted to consider whether or not there will be a new presidential jet, which they have since denied. But what we find very interesting is that the Senate decided to invite the reporter of The Guardian newspapers, which, if you ask me, I would say is an act of intimidation. If you're going to consider that, and it's not on your table, it's not on the plate, for all we know, maybe it was and it was taken away, or maybe it wasn't there in the first instance. It was simply to say it's not there and it's not there. Were there clarifications? Because these are some of the things that have made the rounds up to when the National Assembly decided that it was going to convene this emergency plenary session. But this is what it is. It's right there. Yesterday, the Senate President did say that they were not going to succumb to anticipatory blackmail. That if the president needed a new vehicle, they were going to give him one. If he needed a new plane, they were going to approve one because of the examples of Malawi and Iran. And that was there. But he says it's not in front of them. And I think that should have put pay to it. Why did they want to invite a journalist to appear before their Ethics and Privileges Committee? It's unclear to me, Chamberlain.
Well, the front page of the Vanguard, where the president did approve 50,000 naira to 100,000 households. Additionally, you're going to have this 155 billion naira, which is earmarked for the purchase and distribution of assorted foodstuff across the nation to address, they say, concerns about food security and affordability. So the question for me, among several other things, would just be that what criteria is it for this? What impact does it have on the scheme of things? Do we have a proper cycle that's been established, value chain, such that if farmers get to market, they can have off-takers? Is that system in place? Is it working? There was a state of emergency declared on food security last time out. What impact is it making? Is it working? We don't have updates. So we're intending to get a lot more details because we don't have that yet on this matter. So if it is, those are huge questions. All right, so that's it. We're back in just a moment. Stay on with us.